Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 417. I am one of your hosts, MC, Mother Trucking Fixer, alongside the one and only, isn't he so cute, is Crashy! Hi, Crashy!
Oh dear.
Crash!
I think you broke him.
Crash!
Who? Oh,
Crash.
you're talking to me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to somebody else.
Crashy, how
My
you
bad.
doing, my guy? How you doing? You refuse to talk to me unless I call him Crash, fine. Crash, how are you?
I'm doing good. You know,
Good.
fine,
I'm glad. Of course, the one and only Matt P Video has joined us again this week. Hello, Matt.
I'm back every 2 weeks in a row. Doesn't happen often, but here we are.
And of course, our very special guest, who's going to be joining us for a couple of weeks now to help with all of us going on holidays and wedding plans and things like that. So I thought we'd bring him on for this week so people can go, who the fuck's this guy? And then they don't have to do it for the next 5 weeks. You know, it's like, let's get it out of the way this time and then we'll be good from now on. The one and only Paul Despawn. Despawn, how you doing?
Hi. Yeah, I'm good, guys. Thanks
Don't
for
put a
having me.
crash, yeah? We've got a crash. We do not need a, yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, fine,
I don't know why I went deep like you
That
have
was
a,
fantastic.
I don't know. You
this
don't have a
week.
squeaky voice, so you know. I don't know why I went with a squeaky voice. I would like, you know.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Perfect. I
Brilliant.
appreciate that.
I got you.
How is everybody? Is everybody well? How is everyone been gaming? I haven't at all. I've got to be honest with you. No, gaming's been
No, me
pretty
neither.
light. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're too busy working and wedding plans and a
True.
bunch of other
Is this,
bullshit.
is this podcast about games?
My wedding and
Is it?
me.
I didn't think it was.
My wedding and me,
That's what this
since
podcast
when?
is.
If you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. You can get it earlier on patreon.com/mcfixer. Find us on all podcast services. And if you really want to be a babe and do us a favor, please go hit the subscribe button over on YouTube. youtube.com/My Xbox and Me. Patreon producers this month is the one, the only. It is Aaron Guard. Aaron Guard, thank you very much for your continued support on patreon.com/. Topic of the show. It is almost over. Almost. Don't shake your head saying no. It is almost over. Almost.
It will never end.
It's almost there. Almost there. For those who have been living under a rock in Xbox world, the Xbox deal could finally be closing with Activision, with it to be set, with Bethesda to be set to leaving the stock exchange. According to a press release of Global Newswire, Asda, how you say that, announced that the Trade Desk Inc. would be joining the NASDAQ 100 index. NASDAQ? What the fuck's that?
NASDAQ.
What is it?
It's like the stock exchange bullshit. I don't really.
Yeah, it's
Don't
like
follow
the
stock
American
exchange stuff.
footsie fix. Does that help you?
Footsie, I'm playing footsie with Haley in bed? Like, what are we
Never
talking
mind.
about?
Never mind.
Yeah, nailed
Stock
it.
exchange stuff.
Is this the 100 stock thing where you put it in and it usually, is that what this is?
It's like
Yeah,
the
it's
top
like-
100 countries on the stock exchange, yeah.
Yeah, top 100 within tech.
I didn't know that existed.
It does.
I should probably put some money into this.
Not into Activision because they're leaving it, apparently.
Well, good point. So, long story short, anyway, they're going to be leaving the Xbox deal. So, Xbox appealed the FTC. Again, I kind of stopped following. If I'm being honest, I don't care. I just want it over with. So, anyone who's a lot smarter than me, which is everybody on this panel, talk me through it. Xbox won their appeal.
No, so what the FTC tried doing is blocking the deal early with the TRO because the amount of time it would have taken would
Okay.
have been well past the buy date.
Gotcha.
That got denied, and now the FTC is appealing that denial in a last-ditch effort. And it's probably not going to work because the decision would have to become on Friday. But I'm pretty sure that the 3 judges or whoever makes the decision get the information on Friday, so it'd be a one-day decision. So it's most likely not going to go through, and this won't really do anything. The FTC's appeal to stop Xbox won't really do anything.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. So it's almost over.
Yeah,
Well, no, because
almost.
the CMA, the UK governing body, is still trying to block it. And so there are sort of like concessions that they could make within the UK so that it gets passed everywhere else. But in the UK, it's a slightly different deal. So we might not get all the stuff on Game Pass that everybody else gets on Game Pass, or whatever other concessions they decide they need to make. So no fix, it's not over. It'll never be over. We'll die before it's over. And this podcast will be long gone.
This Xbox is never dying. How dare you? We spoke about this last week. This podcast never dies. Desmond, what do you make of all of this? What do you make of What are your opinions? We've not heard your opinions on number one, Xbox buying Activision as a whole. What do you think of that as a deal for Xbox?
For Xbox, personally, I think it's a great deal for them. Getting hold of some of the biggest developers and games in gaming it's a smart move. I don't think it's going to bring them up for the industry. It's a sticky situation. It is getting dangerously close to monopoly territory when they're buying, like I say, the top 30% of all of the studios. I think Xbox are going about it the right way with promising there won't be exclusives for a lot of the titles. I think what a lot of people forget
for Call of Duty,
yeah.
Also, promises past the first 10 years mean nothing.
That's true.
Because there's nothing set in stone to keep anything going past the first 10 years.
That's true.
I think the thing that a lot of people aren't talking about is the mobile side of it. Like ABK is obviously Activision Blizzard and King, who are like some of the biggest producers of mobile titles. That is a foothold for Xbox, which is not something that they've been very successful in. Has been very understated, I think.
Excuse me, how dare you? Gears Pop was a smash hit. We all know it.
Yeah, okay.
I think I played 3 rounds, so yeah, smash it.
It was a smash hit. It was a smash hit.
Yeah.
A smash hit.
Yeah.
Everyone loved Gears Pop. I don't know what.
That's true. I mean, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, Game of the Year, yeah. Every year.
Game of the Year since it came out.
Yeah.
Do they still make content for that game? Is that game still going?
That got discontinued pretty early on.
That's dead.
Well, I think you hit a good point, Matt, to be honest with you, with Xbox, maybe doing a workaround around the UK if things don't go to plan. What I mean by being over is I don't care. I'm at that point now where will it upset me a great deal to see all of these amazing Activision titles go into Game Pass? I'm sure you guys have seen the fan-made images that have all come out instantaneously of like, these will be added day one, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. But I just want it over with. I'm so sick of talking about this deal. And again, maybe it's because I was spoiled with the Bethesda deal, where it was like, and we've bought Bethesda. And it's like, oh my god! And then and that's kind of what we've experienced in the games industry, right? Even from Destiny, Blizzard, no,
Bungie.
Jesus, Bungie, thank you. Bungie and any other company that's been sold. It's usually been a cheerful moment for everybody, usually. Like, one side goes, oh, we're not going to get their games anymore. The other side goes, oh, we're not going to get their games. We're going to get exclusives. And in the middle goes, yeah, I own both. This is the only deal since we've started, I feel like, with all of this buying the studios, where we haven't had people just go, no, we have to fight this. We have to fight this. We have to fight this with all of our heart. And yeah, honestly, I just want it over with.
I think it's probably because it's like 10 times the value of any other deal we've seen, right? What was the biggest deal that we've seen before this?
I think
what was Bethesda,
right?
Yeah, 7 billion. Was that right?
So
literally 10 times, 69 billion, right? Is the number, and they're gonna have to probably pay an extra 3 billion because they've gone past the deadline or whatever. So yeah, I think that's the difference, right? It's like the kind of revenue that we're talking about here is like starts alarm bells ringing for one reason or another. So yeah, I mean, maybe there's a world in which that if they make concessions for the UK, they also make concessions for the US. It would seem mad because that's so much of their biggest market. But
I think it would depend on the concessions, right? Because like cloud stuff, I don't think they're gonna like separate both. Like they'll do all the cloud stuff in the US because there's no reason not to. Yeah. But if it's sort of like, hey, if they have to make games for PlayStation or whatever past the 10-year mark or whatever the concessions are, which I doubt that'll be one of the things, but I could see that like we're already doing it, we might as well do it.
Sure.
In the US as well. But anything outside of that, I don't think would really affect both sides.
The interesting thing for me is how that's going to play out on PlayStation side. Because one of the arguments that came out of the FTC trial was that PlayStation were worried about sending out dev kits now to ABK Studios.
Yeah.
Because eventually, there will be Xbox Studios and it's releasing trade secrets. So I'm interested to see, like you say, after the 10 years, how that starts playing out. Whether Sony plays ball with those studios.
I feel like they won't, and that's fine because I feel like they won't, and then at least then the fanboys won't understand it. But at least then, like, oh, why did Minecraft 2 not come to PS5? It's like, oh, PS6, I guess. PS6, well, because we didn't get dev kits. Why did this game not come? Because we didn't get dev kits. Like, it won't. I think that plays into Microsoft's hands even more so if they don't send them, because it will be a case of, well, we can't develop for something that we don't have development kits for, and if you're too scared to send us those dev kits, which is totally understandable, by the way. I don't think anyone wants to send their competition their hardware so they can then improve on or wait a later time or whatever the case may be. Yeah. You can totally understand that, but shit happens in it. Like, someone is coming out on top here, and from what I'm seeing and understanding, I did watch a couple of interviews today with the I think it was from the vice. I don't know if it was the vice chairman. I don't remember her name. One of the ladies in call. She was getting destroyed by all these people. She was just getting absolutely destroyed. Like, I'm watching this from the outside in and not being as informed on the political side of all this, I guess. And I'm just like, they're getting destroyed. Like, and again, I don't know how that works, but it's interesting to watch. Especially when you talk about things you care about, because you perk up, right? Like, I try and watch these sort of things on things I don't care about, and I'm like, I just don't care. And then all I hear is the word Microsoft. I'm like, huh? What? Microsoft? Who said Microsoft? Microsoft? What's going on here? Yes, I still don't understand what they're saying. I'm not a lawyer, as I will say, even though the Discord likes to pretend I am. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know. I don't know what they're talking about. So
I don't know. Somebody had posted your certificate for being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not
So
wrong.
I think you are a lawyer.
Yeah. Is there anything I haven't spoken about, or we haven't spoken about, I should say, on what's come out since last week? Oh.
I don't think so. I think, like, probably by the time the podcast goes live, we will have more information as to whether or not the appeal's, like, being looked at further, or if it's just thrown straight in the trash. I don't know. But yeah, like, I think there's definitely an interesting sort of angle to this, which maybe is that, you know, the FTC, PlayStation, whatever, trying to just eventually, like, delay this as much as possible, because it costs Microsoft money every time it gets delayed, right? In lawyers and in, you know, stuff they have to pay Activision an extra $3 billion or whatever. And so there is definitely a win here for PlayStation if they can just hold out for an extra 6 months, an extra year or whatever.
Let's cut that for a second. The FTC is not PlayStation.
Sure.
Let's not do that conversation, because that's not an accurate conversation to have.
Sure. But what I mean is just PlayStation being involved in the conversation and obviously fighting as hard as they are to try and put their case forward, right?
Let's be real. $3 billion to Microsoft is not.
Yeah.
No, 100%. But the more money you can cost the competition, the better, right?
Yeah, if this weren't Microsoft, I'd agree. If this weren't Microsoft, maybe I'd agree with you, because I feel like $3 billion to maybe even Nintendo might be a deterring factor where they go, well, that's an extra $3 billion. Microsoft don't care. I don't think Microsoft give a crap.
It's not quite half.
They're $1 trillion company.
But it's not quite half what they paid for Bethesda, which was their, you know.
No, I agree, but I don't think it would.
Sure, but
it's not going to change how they do business in this deal at all.
Yeah.
No.
Because it's the value of what they're getting, right?
Yeah, of
like,
course.
Activision, nobody's going to argue that Activision's not worth a lot more than Bethesda, right?
Oh, of course.
So it's like that $3 billion in comparison isn't worth as much.
Let's put it this way, yeah. What the deal was 69, right?
Yeah.
If the price was 72, they wouldn't care.
Sure.
I think I think the cutoff's 100 billion probably, but I don't think they're even close to that cutoff. If I'm being honest, not for Call of Duty makes PlayStation 100 million. We worked out in a year. Trust me, it's not going to matter over time. I think from thinking about it short term, I agree with you. $3 billion, so much money, but Call of Duty's not going anywhere. Even when every year we
No,
like,
of
oh
course.
shit, it falls off a cliff. It's still the highest grossing game of all time for that year or
course,
so. It's just
of
like,
course.
yeah.
But like, yeah. It's all
Plus-
contextual, right? Because go on, sorry, go on.
If costs ever get higher, Microsoft will just let go of more employees. So, they have ways to counteract that. I said that as a joke, but that's a horrible thing. I'm pretty sure
That's
there was
the
a story
truth.
going around that Microsoft is
It
looking
is.
That's the
like
truth.
might be letting people go, unfortunately. but-
I know you're joking, but that's the part that
it is the truth.
I've never understood that in companies. Like, yeah, we'll eat this, but like, we'll eat this $3 million delay cost. Oh wait, now we're letting go of 150 people.
The CEO gets a bigger bonus.
Of course,
So, it works out. It evens out.
he works.
Really, when
He
you think
works really
about
hard. Hey, he works really
Yeah,
hard.
it's
So
Super
that's
hard
it.
sitting down in that air-conditioned room.
I
You
dare
don't need that.
showing-
You don't need that Microsoft Store. It's fine.
Exactly. Crash, any podcast reviews this week?
Let me check the app, but we do have one on Twitter. They said they couldn't put a review on Spotify, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I don't think they're
assuming they don't
worded.
have
Are
that.
they?
It's only
Crash,
bad language.
We do have. We have
Right.
2.
Crash, we've gone down by a point.
No.
We
Over
was
there?
at 4.9.
We're the same over here.
We're now at 4.8.
Hey, my review kicked in.
I don't see any new reviews though. What
Damn
the
you,
hell?
Despawn. Damn you to hell.
God damn it.
No new reviews, but we've dropped a 0.1 of a star.
Yeah.
Hell.
I
No.
have one over here.
Oh, go on, hit me.
Okay. That might be it.
It's from Friday from Weiss. I hope I said that right. Amazing Xbox podcast, 5 stars. I first started listening after hearing the host on the IGN podcast Unlocked, and loved his take on the industry. Though this is an Xbox podcast, there is some chatter about the industry in general, which is great to keep people grounded and out of the bubble. But there is certainly a main focus on Xbox. The host, MC Fixer, is from England. One of the co-hosts is from Wales. I feel like we read this one before, no?
I don't
Oh,
think so.
keep
She's from
going.
the USA. I did not kick my nan down the stairs.
Oh,
write
yeah,
and
we did read
apologize
this
for-
one. We did read this one. We did.
I'm assuming he edited it or something then.
Maybe, did it pop back up?
Let me see. There's another one, and it's from the same person. I corrected my previous review to note that Matt P is from Wales. And you
Oh,
fixed my name. And writing this
Oh.
from my wife's account because you all deserve as many 5-star reviews
Let's
as you can
go,
get.
baby!
There we go.
Love that. See?
nailed it.
The rest of you listening are actually just not like... You're not, come on. Be better. Be
Step up your
better.
game.
Be better, alright? God damn it.
And then let's see. And this one is from Twitter at Main Event Crumb. Couldn't write a review on Spotify for my Xbox Me, so I'm going to tell you on Twitter, the podcast is fucking awesome, and I dig the views you all bring to the table. Keep it up. # lifelong listener.
Hey, let's fucking go, baby. Thank you
There you
very
go.
much. We do appreciate it. We're doing reviews on Twitter now. I kind of like that. Kind of like
wanna
that. If
keep
you,
sending
I
reviews on Twitter?
kind of like that. If you can't do a review if you can't leave a worded review on Spotify, you go and rate us on Spotify, but you give us your worded review on Twitter.
I like that
I mean,
too, but I'm pretty
you
sure
both?
Spotify got rid of their rating system.
Oh, they might have done. Well,
I might be
they?
wrong.
They might.
I might be wrong.
They might. I don't,
No,
know.
no,
I
you
don't
might
pay
be right.
attention. I don't pay attention to Spotify like that. You know, I'm
No,
Apple.
no, it's there. We're 4.8 on Spotify as well.
See what I mean? This is some bullshit, man. Who
16.
I wonder if Spotify
hates
is
us?
universal.
hates us? Someone hates
Unbelievable.
us. Despawn, who hates us? Is it you?
It's that my PlayStation me lot.
Oh, that's me. Oh, God. We did one
Yeah,
episode. We
sure.
did one
You
episode.
hate us.
Let's jump into what's been in our box. We'll start with you, Despawn. What have you been playing, dude?
Oh God, am I allowed to talk about this because it's not Xbox?
Yeah, you can still talk about it. It's absolutely fine.
All right, I have been absolutely rinsing Final Fantasy 16.
Ooh.
I have completed it.
Nice.
I have put my thoughts in my head somewhere, and yeah, it's definitely a Final Fantasy game.
You were super hype on it.
I mean, right. So, if we're doing a quick review,
Yeah, quick. Of
story, combat, 10 out of 10. Like, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Okay.
RPG elements, almost non-existent.
course. Yep.
There's absolutely nothing there. It is Devil May Cry in a Final Fantasy Halloween costume. It's basically hack and slash made dressed up like a Final Fantasy game. Doesn't mean it's bad in any way, shape, or form. I have enjoyed my time with it immensely. I just wish there was some more of that DNA of Final Fantasy that I loved and have grown up with in there. I understand why. It's from the team that made Final Fantasy 14, so it's very much MMO. Click a button, you're good, move on. But yeah, I just wish there was a little bit more meat on the bones when it came to the RPG stuff. But yeah, like I say, it doesn't take away from the story or the combat in any way, shape, or form. It is one of, if not the best looking game I've played. Full stop. Like the the combat effects, everything. When you combine abilities, I've never seen anything quite like it, and absolutely in awe of it every time I'm in a fight. The icon battles are amazing, but yeah, definitely. If they can combine what they've got here in Final Fantasy 17 with some more RPG elements, then yeah, I think game of the generation when that one comes out.
Just starts so strong. It starts so strong that it's like, wow. And no, I to be honest with you, I haven't finished it yet. I'm still playing it through at my own pace. I do kind of echo everything you said. I don't quite understand the 10s. I will say that. I feel like it got and I'm not a fanboy in any way, shape, or form, but I feel like it did definitely get the PlayStation bump and the Final Fantasy bump in this, like a Zelda gets a bump. Like, to me, if this was not a Final Fantasy game, and exactly the same thing, not Final Fantasy, I think this comes out and gets 8s. I generally do. I don't think that takes away from it being a great game, because it's still a great game. No. But I do think it would have got a lot more knocks for its RPG lightness. In all of its systems.
I don't think so, because if it's not a Final Fantasy game, there's no expectation for the RPG.
Possibly. Well, it depends how they...
Possibly.
Well, because I think it still comes down to how they market the game. If they market it as an RPG...
But this game was never marketed as an RPG. It was a fantasy game. I get what you're saying, but like, if you take away the Final Fantasy from it, like, you remove that like critique of the game.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's definitely an expectation with the name.
Maybe. All right, I'm not going to argue with you. You're
like most of the people who have had issues with it have been, I feel like, Final Fantasy fans that have been fans of the older games. Oh, yeah. But I think you also have to remember, like, when Final Fantasy 7 came out, people had issues with that game and said, "Oh, that game's what's it called? Not cyberpunk. What is the word? Steampunk. It's steampunk. It has the ATB system. It has materia. This isn't the normal Final Fantasy we like." There were conversations way back when that came out that like, this isn't Final Fantasy, and that conversation constantly comes up. Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 11, like the conversation with Final Fantasy not being Final Fantasy and not being the type of RPG people want constantly comes up with the franchise.
Those people are wrong about Final Fantasy 7 though. That game is... Anyway, Matt, what have you been playing?
Nothing that I'm allowed to talk about. Fair
enough.
So
Fresh?
I've been playing so much.
Fresh?
Oh, you wanted me to go on about what I've been playing?
Yes, please.
I played more Final Fantasy 16.
Okay.
I played more Street Fighter.
Okay.
I played some Smite. I know. I don't normally play that. I played some Destiny. I haven't played Diablo. I'll say that.
New season comes out my birthday.
Yeah, it comes out, I think, right before I leave or when I leave.
Yeah. Are you jumping in for the season?
Right because your birthday's the 23rd, right?
20th.
It's the 20th? Okay.
Yeah.
But I think your birthday was the 23rd. Whatever.
It is the 21st. Yeah, I what have I been playing? I mean, you've been playing nothing then.
Same old stuff. I've just been really busy as well, to be honest.
I totally get it. Honestly, I don't think I've played anything new from last week other than I've been role playing, so I've not had time to be playing much else. I'm waiting for Payday 3, honestly. I'm just sat waiting for Payday 3. Exoprimal as well, which comes out tomorrow, which I'm very much looking forward to checking out all of a sudden. Like Crash said, I was very like, I'm not too sure. And now I'm like, new game! Yes! Let me play! Please, give me something. But yeah, apart from that, Formula 1. More Formula 1. Plan more Formula 1.
Still enjoying it?
Oh, yeah. I really enjoy it. Won't be in my top 10 or anything. I don't know how to articulate my thoughts about the game well enough, because I don't know about Formula 1 well enough. But I enjoy what I am playing of the game and what I'm getting out of it. Very, very, very.
Still using the steering wheel?
So not at the moment, no.
Okay.
No, I started playing on controller, and then that forced me. Crash said, "Oh, can you play on controller? Play on controller." And now I can't be bothered.
Wait.
Now I can't be bothered to get the steering wheel up and down every time.
I never asked you to play on controller. I asked if you did play on controller and how it played, and then you put it on yourself like, "Oh no, I'll play on controller." I was like, "You don't need to," and then you're like, "No, I'm gonna do it for the podcast so I can have like talk about it." That's a you problem. Don't try to throw that on me.
Sure. If that's what you want, that's what you want to go with, mate. No problem. Let's jump into this week's dashboard. Let's check out the news of the week. First one comes from Xbox. A new voice report in lets you record toxic players and introduce them to karma. Xbox is rolling out a new voice reporting feature that allows players to capture and report inappropriate voice activity. The Capture Now Report Later feature allows players to record problematic players' conversations without completely interrupting gameplay. The Xbox voice reporting feature is now available to Xbox insiders in hopes of gaining feedback from users. This is absolutely huge. It's a huge feature. As someone who has been called the M word on the internet for the longest time, I started using the internet. In fact, yeah, as you get older, you kind of. I feel like when you're younger, you have a tolerance for it, and then as you get older, your tolerance becomes lower and lower and lower. You should never have to have a tolerance for it in the first place. That's not what I'm saying. But now I'm just like, anything that makes it easy for me to actively make sure people get banned for things like that, I do it. Where back in the day, I was just like, you're an idiot. You. Now I'm like, oh no, I want you to be banned. I want you, the scumbag in which you are, I want you to have repercussions for your actions. So yeah, this is awesome from Xbox. It's weird that we haven't had something like this before, if we're being honest.
It's one of those things that, like, yeah, the technology's there, right? We've already got the, like, record what just happened, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Like, and now it's been announced. It's like a no-brainer of like, yeah, why haven't we always had this for ages? You know, it's just one of those things. You just don't think about it until it comes along.
It's not just the technology of doing it. It's also having the system set up to, like, go through the audio reports and whatever. And, like, because you can't just, people report people for no reason. People already mass report and they get banned through that.
Yeah, moderation.
Audio reports and the ability to distinct between, like, just sort of normal game trash talk that happens that isn't like over the board of being toxic, but like I just shitted on you or whatever, compared to like saying something that's clearly crossing a line, and the ability to distinction that. I'd probably imagine that's part of what it is, but also like I think this fits with a lot of what Xbox's image has been for a minute now, that this just makes sense where they've been taking their brand to do this move as well.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think I think kind of sentiments with you've all had there. I think like it's a long time coming. It's nice to see. It makes, I don't know why, but it just makes total sense that Xbox the first one to do this. I think they've been pushing just like community driven and like a lot of just support for people like in their ecosystem to make it a safe space. I think especially with like some of the, again, going back to the FTC and all of this Activision stuff a little bit, some of the agreements have been like, including Nintendo, have been very vocal about wanting to protect their customers. Sure. So having things like this where they can show, all right, well, it is safe to interact with our communities because we've got these reporting tools in place now, which I think, like we said, like probably the first of its kind, mainly.
The first of its kind in gaming, obviously.
Yeah. I know, like there's options where you can, like, say, you can clip something and then post that on socials and so like and share that in a reporting tool. But this is like the first time it's been a dedicated audio thing.
I want to say that like individual games have done it before.
Right.
Because I feel like I've reported people and had the option like for voice chat, but I don't know if there's actual recordings on the voice chat.
That's what I say. I think you've had it of like, you've been abused. What was the type of abuse you received? It was voice, but you didn't have proof of the said voice, being sent off. Maybe on the back end they went and found it or something like that. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But this is the first time like as a company-wide thing, and it also like kudos to Microsoft, because for the longest time Xbox was like the place people always talked about, like, oh, if you were a kid back in my days on Xbox, you wouldn't have survived. And it's like, people shouldn't have survived that on Xbox. They should have had to go through that
for sure.
most of the time on Xbox, right?
They were interesting days in those COD lobbies, let me tell you.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's gonna be weird now not knowing what my mum's been up to in
Oh,
COD
what?
lobbies. Now I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to talk to her and find out what she's up to.
Find out who she's fucking. What the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah, I do agree with you though. It doesn't surprise me that Xbox is the first to do it. Like you said, this has been. It's kind of the neat thing that happens when you're in second place. You actually have to give a fuck about your players. In a way, so you have to keep building tools and keep harboring good faith with the people that are supporting your platform. Go on.
I'm gonna say if you believe what Xbox say, they're actually in third place.
Yeah, I don't believe that, unfortunately. Xbox can try and sell that message to FTC. I'm not buying it. They are the underdogs against PlayStation, but sure as hell not against Nintendo. In certain aspects.
That Mario movie made a lot of money.
That film was
Deservedly.
so good.
Yeah,
That film
but-
was so good.
It was good. But to have a conversation on whether Nintendo is in that like 3 categories is a very long conversation because there's more stuff you have to look at
Yeah.
than if the Mario movie did good, right?
I mean,
Sure. Yeah, it was a total throwaway joke. I wasn't being serious.
hey, don't be mean to. Hey, Crush is very passionate about his Mario's and the films. Okay, so be
I'm
careful.
Nintendo's
Very
my favorite
passionate.
platform.
Really?
Go over with my Switch.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I think
for
it's Tears of
sure.
the Kingdom.
No, PlayStation's his
Tears of
favorite
the
platform.
Kingdom?
I remember when I brought him on this
If
podcast,
they-
and he was like, "I'm a PlayStation guy. I don't know why I'm on here."
That is true. It's not wrong.
Matt's there, like, look at my Crash Bandicoot. That's Xbox now, bitch.
Yeah, that's Xbox now. Yeah.
I love
But these
how
two.
we teased you at the start of the
Yeah.
show when you came on, Matt, for having OD PlayStation posters, and literally in a week's time, one of those will be an Xbox poster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nuts.
And then
Matt
that
saw the
was next.
future. He saw the vision.
This dev
Is that-
next.
What is that?
Journey.
Did that didn't come to Xbox in the end?
No.
Journey didn't, but the new
You
game
think
is.
that
Yeah.
Xbox buys them.
Maybe. Why not? I don't think Xbox buys anybody for a long time.
No.
Oh, I
after the Activision
disagree.
deal goes through.
I totally disagree with you.
Really?
I think as soon as this goes through, it's going to be like, oh, we got that one through.
Well,
Oh, we want them, and them.
like the thing about like Xbox purchasing Activision is it literally opens the floodgate. There's almost virtually no argument with the Xbox buying Activision you can make for a studio not to buy, for somebody like PlayStation or Xbox or whoever to not buy another studio. There isn't an argument that can be formed.
100%. So you go, Despawn.
I was gonna say the question is, how long until PlayStation try and buy Square Enix?
Oh, I straight away.
I don't.
Already happening.
You don't think?
PlayStation doesn't buy PlayStation doesn't buy Square Enix.
No?
They don't need to. The only way I think PlayStation approaches buying Square Enix is if Square Enix comes to them and like, hey, Xbox gave us an offer and it's pretty good.
Mhm.
Or somebody came and gave us an offer like, we'd rather work with you, but like if not, we're gonna go and be bought.
By the-
Otherwise, I don't think PlayStation.
By the way, I
buys them.
don't want Xbox to get Square Enix.
No.
I think that's where we're starting to. I don't think the monopoly line's there yet. Even after Activision, I do think when you start getting JRPGs and stuff like that, your competitor is known for. I feel like that's when the line is starting to get to a point where I'm like, yes, you are bolstering your roster, but you're also then potentially taken away from so many people. And like, yeah, me, cool. Make my RPG experiences be on like those type of JRPG. Make them be on PlayStation, sure. I want a reason to turn it on. No problem. Like, no problem. That's fine by me. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure the next time I'm turning on my PlayStation now. I've completed Final Fantasy.
Did you uninstall the demo yet?
No reason.
I've not installed the demo yet. There is a new game plus.
Wait for the patch to fix the frame rate issues.
I've still not noticed any frame rate issues. I might be
Yeah,
wrong though.
maybe.
I just haven't noticed.
It happens every once in a while when you're traversing. It doesn't happen like the combat's smooth. The combat is very smooth. You don't get frame rate issues in the combat. It's more so just when you're walking around and stuff like that. You'll get it occasionally. And some of the icon fights have some frame rate stutters occasionally, but not really as noticeable as people said it was. But I felt like the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom, to be honest.
Matt, I actually think you'd like Final Fantasy 16.
As soon as I
Have you
hear you
played
start
the demo?
talking about it now, my brain just kind of enters
Oh.
white noise space.
Well, welcome to
Matt
me.
was zoned out.
Welcome to me when you guys spoke about Elden Ring.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
now
enough.
you know how it feels. Next
Still
piece.
ended up in your game of the year list, didn't it? So Final Fantasy might end up in mine.
Yeah, you can't say that, Fix. Take that comment back.
Moving on. NBA 2K24 is getting crossplay for its new game. It's the 25th anniversary coming up, and the game will be launching on September 8th. 2K announced on Friday. I don't know how to feel about this. As you all know, I do play 2K. I am a 2K player.
Yep.
I've been sponsored by 2K before for the last couple of games. 2K's online sucks. Like, NBA 2K's online is dog shit. Anyone who's watched me play that game knows how bad the lag spikes come in, and even shooting, like basketball, you have to, like, time it with your lag because it just doesn't work. And knowing that they're going to bring crossplay into it, as much as I'm happy about that because it means I don't have to buy 2 versions of the game, play with certain friends and things like that, it is still one of those ones where I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, mate. I don't know about this. I'm not sure. I'm really, really not sure. I'm happy with the features here. I just hope they get that online structure sorted, which I don't think they will.
They won't. No.
Yeah. Makes too much money, right? For them to even care.
Yeah. Like, people still buy it. Now they just don't have to buy 2 copies of it.
They need a basketball competitor. I feel like every sports game needs a serious competitor. Unfortunately, I think it's hard for any sports game to get a serious competitor because it's a monopoly without being a monopoly, right?
Yeah, 100% is a monopoly. Like, I remember EA tried with NBA EA Live, and it was. I think that was I actually remember buying that and it being the first game I returned back when GameStation was a thing, which would be like an EB Games for you guys over there, Crash. And they had the policy of like, if you returned a game, you don't have EB Games?
No, we have GameStop.
GameStop, okay.
Maybe we have EB Games somewhere in America. I don't.
I can't remember. I'm pretty good usually with my American name, but sometimes but they had like a 72-hour return policy or something, even if you didn't like the game back in the day. And I remember that being the first game that I was like, absolutely not. Went back to the shop and was like, give me my money back. And they were like, we don't know why you bought this in the first place, mate. So, but yeah, I am still excited. Hopefully we get an actual career mode finally, because they've changed now to the way they do their career modes, which is all based on online, and it's like, I just don't like it. It's just shit.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. I really don't. It sucks, but hey, I don't put hundreds upon hundreds of dollars into this game, so I'm actually not the target audience anymore. Enjoy a basketball game? No. Pay for 20 different thousand builds of characters? Yes. So next up, I assume none of you give a crap about him. New Ninja Pack is coming to Mortal Kombat 1, which is weird. I find it's so weird saying Mortal Kombat 1 in 2023.
Yeah.
The trailer confirmed Smoke, Rain, and more. Mortal Kombat developer NetherRealm Studios released a brand new look at Mortal Kombat 1 on Thursday, confirming a slew of classic ninjas for its upcoming fighting game. Longtime favourite Smoke, Rain are confirmed for the main playable roster, sporting fresh looks and have reimagined rivalries. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Smoke are all buddies in the new MK. Which is super weird as well. Them being friends is very strange. Very strange.
Yeah.
Smoke was green, right? Smoke was green.
Scorpion and no, Smoke was black. He threw like the smoke on the ground.
It was a green
that.
one.
You're
That looked
thinking
like
reptile.
Reptile. There you go.
Which he used to be green, but then they turned him into an actual reptile. So he's like still green, but like he's a reptile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Just use like he's an actual reptile.
I don't know if you know, guys.
I don't know how else to describe that, because he used to be just a recolored Scorpion with like the green suit instead of the yellow.
What else was you gonna say about them? Like you were gonna say something else about Scorpion and
me?
Yeah, you were about to say something like their brothers.
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero brothers. Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. I always thought they were brothers anyway, so that makes perfect sense. All right,
it's canon for you. It's good canon.
For me, it's been canon. One. This is just So
all you're saying is the games have finally caught up with you.
They finally caught up with my lore. I wrote my own lore, and they finally caught up. I was in the multiverse of Mortal Kombat, and I knew where this was going. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
When you initially read this headline and said new Ninja packed Mortal Kombat 1 trailer, I was like, oh, they've put Ninja, the streamer, into Mortal Kombat 1. And my brain was like totally fine with that. It was like, yep, that
makes
seems
sense.
like a thing that's perfectly normal and happens in this industry now. And so.
Is that why you giggled? Because I heard someone giggle and I was like, did I read that wrong? There's no way I read that wrong. Like, what do you mean?
I was like rushing to click it. I was like, oh, that sounds dope. I want to see Ninja in Mortal Kombat 1. Why not?
I want to see him getting taken out with a fatality. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get over here, shaves Ninja's head off, and there you go.
What? Here's a question. What would Ninja's fatality be?
Fortnite dance.
You reckon?
He does that pom pom. And then their head explodes.
Sorry, I don't know what. Could you just repeat that dance for me again?
Yeah,
I'm not doing that again. I'm a host of a respectable podcast.
Step back?
Really?
No, I have shorts on. Allow me. Moving on. Street Fighter 6 hits 2 million sales. Rashid gameplay revealed. Street Fighter 6 has increased its sales to 2 million units in just over a month, Capcom has announced. Street Fighter 6 got off to a strong start when it sold over 1 million over its launch weekend. It has now reached a total of making the total sales for the Street Fighter franchise at 50 million, which sounds low. For Street Fighter, that sounds low to me. It's been around my entire life.
Yeah. For a long period of Street Fighter's life, they were only in cabinets.
Arcades, yeah, which makes perfect sense.
They came to, so they came to home consoles later.
You know what it is? It's just when we have games like Cyberpunk and sells millions upon millions, it's like, yeah, but it just sounds. But I do have to remember that fighting games are a niche as well. They're a big niche, but they're a niche compared to like a open world cyberpunky like game. Like, it's just very, very different. Capcom don't miss, bro. Like, we've been saying it. Exoprimal tomorrow probably gonna miss, and we're probably gonna have to stop saying Capcom don't miss. But right now, Capcom don't miss.
They don't miss.
Never missed.
If they miss once, like, is that a miss? Or
yes.
Like, I'm gonna let it slide.
I can't say Capcom don't miss when they miss.
Capcom,
yeah, but if you're not looking at it, if you didn't see the miss, did it miss?
Yes.
You know?
Still miss.
Capcom
I don't think
miss
so.
on things we really care about.
If a miss falls in the wood, do you really miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Mm.
The answer to that is yes. Yes.
This is the kind of theology I'm bringing to this podcast.
It didn't miss. Yeah.
Capcom also said
But
that single-player features such as the World Tour mode and the new modern controls were designed to appeal to a broader range of players and have contributed to Street Fighter 6 sales success, which we all knew. Let's be honest. The single player on its own was what got me excited. Still haven't played it yet. I know. I'm sorry. I will before the end of the year, guaranteed. But the modern control scheme, is it that casual, Crush? You will know better than anybody.
Yeah, it's very. You'll be able to like do stuff in the game with the casual control scheme.
I'm not playing on casual. Are you mad?
The modern control scheme.
Why would I need my hitbox if I'm already a pro? Like,
you can choose what to do. I said what I said. I said you would be able to play the game on modern control scheme. I said what I said.
I'll beat you with
you playing on
controls.
hitbox and playing with classic doesn't change anything.
Are you going to play with the steering wheel?
I'll beat
That's
Crash
a good
with a
chat.
steering wheel.
You think so?
Easy.
Will you beat him in game?
Wheel, I'll play with one hand.
I'll beat you with just my feet on a steering wheel.
Wow.
I could beat you. Okay, I'll beat you smashing my head into a keyboard, bro. What do you want to do?
I'll beat
I'm
you
just
by just
saying.
licking my keys.
I'm just saying, Patreon
All right, I'm not
exclusive
going
video.
lower than that.
My Xbox and Me verse is coming up. Next up, let's show me to fix this sack. Remember, you can email in my Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com. Also, hit us up on Twitter at MCFixer, at CrushNetPlays, at MattPVideo, and at All Despawn. Smashed it.
Nailed it.
I'm a professional host. Don't watch that. First question comes from Reality. They say, guys, do you agree with Jim Ryan that Game Pass is devalued? No, destructive. Sorry, destructive. Okay, should we just hold it there? No, I'm joking. Destructive. The narrative with Game Pass is usually that games are not the best quality, and with games like Last of Us and Horizon, both costing over 200 million, could Microsoft afford to put games of that high quality of budget, day and date into Game Pass? How do you recoup costs of £200 million like Sony by putting them onto a subscription service without taking a major hit financially? So let's start with the first part. Is Game Pass destructive?
Value destructive.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah,
PlayStation.
Yeah,
It depends.
I'll fight you. So in here they say, games of the quality of Last of Us and Horizon don't come to Game Pass. Forza Horizon, Flight Simulator are all examples of
Gears of War.
big budget AAA games that come to Game Pass. Was Gears of War 5? Did that come straight to Game Pass? Was that already Game Pass was already going when Gears 5 came out? Fair enough.
Gears Tactics.
So there are examples.
Wait, let's keep going. Just because I love the argument here of just because you may not like a Forza, you may not like a Gears Tactics, you may not like Gears of War, they still spent hundreds of millions of pounds on those games.
Yeah.
So sorry, carry on. I just don't want. Like, I get it. Last of Us and Horizon are amazing games, but come on, let's be fair here. To game is expensive for everyone.
And so they do it. And yeah, look, like it or love it, like there's a reason that Netflix is competing with every cable channel in the world, right? And Amazon Prime are getting into that field, and streaming and services and recurring subscriptions work on a monetary level for these big companies.
I think there's an argument you could have when you look at Netflix and the fact that Netflix is almost always in the red. They're always working in a position of debt, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you could always view it like that. But Xbox is such a small fraction of Microsoft that until it starts bleeding into Microsoft and Microsoft seemingly is like, I'm trying to get rid of Xbox, I don't think this is a valuable conversation, because you're essentially pocket checking a company that doesn't need to be pocket checked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you counting the dimes that they're getting,
Yeah. So I read this question a little bit differently. In so much as the value destructive, I don't think it's a case of like, can you put games that are worth that much on there? Yes, easily. We know that they can. But does it lessen the perceived value of the games that go on there? I'd say yes.
Yeah.
In so much as that I don't think I've actively felt like I need to buy a single AAA game on Xbox.
But that's by design, right? That's by design.
Yeah.
That's how Xbox want you to feel as a consumer. They want you to feel like that. Like, the term "it's a Game Pass game," as much as a lot of people use it as a negative, it's a huge positive to Xbox.
Oh yeah.
I think when it's Xbox exclusive, it is a positive. I do think that the term is overused for non-Xbox games, where they're like, oh, that game looks like it'll be on Game Pass one day, and while I like it and I think it looks really cool and I'd probably enjoy it a lot, I'll wait because it looks like a Game Pass game.
But we had it with Games with Gold. That's a Games with Gold game. We'll say it on game. I've been doing this long enough to remember when people used to say that about certain games. Were like, oh, that'll be on Games with Gold in 6 months. Yeah. So, people just like things for free and they like to complain about them.
100%. But the difference with Games with Gold is you got 2 games with Gold a month. With Game Pass, you get way more than 2 games a month in Game Pass.
Yeah.
100.
So I do think there is a different, like, people are more willing to wait on games coming to Game Pass than they were for games with Gold.
I think at the end of the day, until we haven't heard it from developers, we've heard it from Jim Ryan, but we've not heard from developers yet. There was one that came out. I remember there being people can fly, but people with fly also haven't made a good game.
They put out Outriders. That's true.
So they haven't made a good game in a long time. So that's like,
they haven't made like a bad game.
I didn't say that. I didn't say they made bad games.
No, I'm saying that in your defense.
Yeah,
they haven't made a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, Outriders underperformed, yes. But they also put that game on Game Pass like with a week to go of that game being, so they knew something was wrong there as well.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when that got announced and we were like, oh, where the f does that come from?
It was also only Xbox Game Pass. It wasn't PC Game Pass, so I don't know how well you can argue like the destructive value there, right?
Yeah. But yeah, the main crux of this question, Xbox can do it with ease because they can eat the cost. Xbox are not making a play for this. Is not Game Pass is not a short-term project. Buying Activision, not a short-term project. Like clearly, Satya Nadella and Phil Spencer and whoever else is Sarah Bond, all of these higher up people understand that this is not a small task into getting back in the market share, and the only way they will do it is with Game Pass, because realistically, there's so many titles that Xbox have released that most of us, even on this panel who love Xbox, probably wouldn't have played without Game Pass.
Also, Game Pass doesn't stop people from buying the game as much as people like to say that. Also, because there's people who like to get the physical edition, there's people who just like to get the game. So yeah, you're not recouping the full 200 million in that, but you probably recoup the rest of that in Game Pass itself, right? The service.
Oh, it's that, and it's the
And
same
people
thing.
are spending money on Microsoft and using Microsoft services, right?
When Gears drops and they bring out their Gears console edition, that's not them selling a copy of a Gears game, but they're still making money off that console. But we don't think of that. Like, those are the little things that I feel like gets lost in the sauce sometimes. We're like, oh, it didn't move as many units. No, but it sold like an extra million Xboxes of special editions or whatever the case may be. I don't know how many they sell, but yeah, I don't. Jim Ryan, I've got to be honest. Like, I respect everybody, obviously, but Jim Ryan and the way he come off after all of this, he's gone down in my estimate, like in my valuation of like running PlayStation. If I'm honest.
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think my perception, I think a lot of people's perception, even originally when he came onto Xbox, not Xbox, on PlayStation, was a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Because he came from Guerrilla, if I'm not mistaken, and people were like, is Horizon or Guerrilla going to get like biased?
No, you're on about Herman. You're on about Herman. You're on about Herman.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, yeah, you're on about Herman.
Take everything I said back.
Yeah, you're on about Herman Holmes. No, but I think when Jim came in, he took over from Jack Tretton. And Jack Tretton was so well liked amongst gamers, is the one thing, and the way he spoke about gaming was he just came across really well. Jim Ryan, to me, and again, I watch PlayStation conferences and I follow the industry very closely. I just don't like the way he comes across a lot of the time. So him saying, even if he thinks this, I don't think saying this outright was a smart thing to do. Like, just is what it is. But again, he also was under oath and had to speak, so he didn't have much choice. So yeah, there's that. Next up, Anubis316 says, have you slept on Bramble? I don't know what this is.
That sounds uncomfortable.
It's a Game Pass game.
It's has Game Pass stepped it up? I feel like ever since not E3, Game Pass has been doing a bit better. Interesting. I don't know what the game this is. Crash, help me.
You'll recognize it if you saw it.
I'm looking it up right now.
Kind of like a weird, spooky, dark fairy tale platformer, kind of limbo-y, inside-y kind of vibes, maybe.
I'm looking at it now. I do remember this being shown. Oh, is this out?
It's out and it's on Game Pass, and the answer to your question is yes. We have clearly all slept on Bramble.
I think the biggest problem with Game Pass is still to this day. My biggest problem with it is you still can't search by release date. It would be the number one thing that gets me to play more Game Pass games, just because of the way I have to play games for work, which is new games get put to the top of the pile. So if I could just search 2023 games, I'd play more of them.
To be fair, typically they do have like a block, 2 or 3 down blocks, recently added is typically the block that you see.
That's cool, but I need 2020 games that came out in 2023. Like, recently added, mixed in with, so I've got one 2023 game in there with FIFA 23, in there with Formula 1 2022.
Oh, sure,
it's like,
sure.
That doesn't help me. I just need games that came out this, 2023, all of them. So then I can be like, oh, these are the games I need to get through for the year. And I wouldn't miss more games. But I've been saying that for a long time. Clearly, I'm the only one that cares.
I wonder if they don't do that for worry that that's the only way people would look at Game Pass, is to see only the newest stuff as opposed to everything that's been added.
There's so many filters, though. There's so many filters. For them not to have this one's dumb.
I don't know. I've just heard this rumor that old games are old.
Facts. Whoever says that is, very smart person. Very, very smart person. So,
if an old game is old, you'd be able to tell by looking at it, right? It's like, oh, this is an old game. I shouldn't even bother looking at it. So you can just look at the list and know old game is old, no?
That piece is so distracting. It's ridiculous. He has just typed Matt P video.
There's a question from Matt P Video.
Oh, Paul Despawn bought the Game Pass Mega Edition with the smartwatch. What was he thinking?
Starfield.
Oh yeah,
Starfield Mega
Wait, you
Super
bought that?
Edition.
Oh, what was you thinking?
So
Vix is asking
there's
the
my
same
question.
now.
There's my question. What was he thinking?
What was you thinking?
I was thinking about 5 days early access and a shiny collectible that'll sit nicely in my background.
Is that the only way you get 5 days early access?
I think the
You can
Deluxe
buy
edition.
You can buy the $100 deluxe edition.
Yeah.
So
Both of
you
which
can't just,
also
like,
come with the
pre-order
first
the
DLC.
normal version.
No.
I dislike this.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, you always disliked this, but they've been doing
I
it for
disliked it.
ages.
No, I get it.
Is that the first company? Yeah.
I was no with Starfield. I was under the impression that you could just pre-order it and you'd get the early access. And I thought
No.
that's fine.
No.
I think that's kind of crazy.
I generally don't like. With it being a game that comes to Game Pass, I think it's the same thing. I think we're gonna see this more.
100%.
I think this is something we will see more and more and more from Microsoft, where they're like, okay, to alleviate the people who, again, watch content creators or like people who just can't wait or want the special edition, we need to keep adding value. How do we do that? By doing this. And yeah, and like you just said, as long as it comes with an expansion or a DLC, I am fine with it. It's when I'm paying,
It's worth the value,
yeah, and when I'm paying just the extra $78, $100, $40, $30, whatever it is, for early access, that's when I get pissed. But if it comes with an expansion, I'm absolutely fine with it.
You know what is also kind of a little bit shitty on top of this is that didn't Bethesda come out and say they weren't going to do review copies for journalists anymore? So nobody's getting.
That was time ago, bro. Where have you been? Oh, they've been giving out review copies.
I know, but so now you can pay for early access to the game. Like, so you're paying more for a game you don't know anything about, right? Like, it could be a broken piece of trash on launch. No, I know, but now they're offering early access through a paid-for thing.
No. I'm saying, sorry.
No,
what I'm saying to you is they no longer do that. They do give review copies.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I missed the tip.
No,
This isn't the only way to get it early, yeah.
No. They turned that around pretty. That was years ago, bro. Where have you? That came out ages ago. Like,
sorry. I clearly missed it.
Was the Bethesda statement for like Bethesda games, or was it for the Bethesda as a whole? You know, was it for Fallout?
It was what kept happening was things kept leaking, right? So they were like, "We're done with this. We're just not going to give out press copies early. We're going to give them to you on the day." And then there was a big hubbub about it. This was so many years ago, but there was like a big hubbub about it. They've already put out like Rainmaker, which is a content creation tool thing where you can apply to get codes for the game and stuff. So yeah, no, I don't. I still think you're probably gonna have to wait till the day of early access before you're gonna get to play it, from a content creator's perspective or a presser's perspective. But that's just the way it is. That's just unless they're confident. Unless the game is extremely bug free and they're that confident, we're not gonna see this too early. Like from a content perspective.
It did come out that they did say that this is the least. Well, they said. I'm obviously take that with a pinch of salt. That this is the least buggy game they've ever could release. To this day, I should say. Not. We'll talk about the future, but yeah. So apparently, it's got less bugs than any Bethesda game has ever had. Again, take that with a pinch of salt. But I mean, they've got to be confident to say that out loud with their whole chest.
So sorry, the question I actually wanted to ask here to you, Despawn, was: do you currently have a smartwatch?
Yes.
What do you have?
I have an Apple Watch.
Oh, man, I really want to fucking review this watch like it's a real thing. I want to put my Tech Radar hat back on and like review this watch.
Oh,
like
I'm 100% doing that. Yeah, I'm going to definitely do that.
It's a good video, man. It's a good video. Beat me to it.
Can I ask you guys a question? What exactly is the watch you guys are talking about?
Smartwatch.
I got no clue.
The collector's edition.
Is it like a legit?
Oh shit! You didn't watch the thing, did you? I forgot. You missed the Starfield, the big Starfield Direct. Yeah. So yeah, they announced like a limited edition. There's a watch in the game, so it's a smart watch that they've designed to go with the collector's edition, and it's got go on.
It's like a legit smartwatch. It's not like what they did with the Pip-Boy.
No, it's a legit smartwatch.
Okay.
Why
Got
are you
it.
shrugging?
Alright.
Why are you
I
shrugging?
mean, we don't know what it is. They just
They
said
said
it's a
it's a
smartwatch, and look, here
They
it
just
is.
said it's a smart.
Yeah.
I can tell the time. It's pretty smart, bro.
I think they said it's a smartwatch, and you can get notifications from your phone on it,
So it's a
which makes
smartwatch.
which makes it a smartwatch, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
I
to.
think that's the base level for a smartwatch.
Sure. Can you control your music? Is it
But I don't think.
waterproof?
I think now you're adding like quality to a smartwatch that doesn't define a smartwatch.
Sure. I'm not trying to insinuate that it's not a smartwatch. Don't get me wrong. I'm
I
just
don't know
really.
Are you insinuating that Bethesda are a company that would sell you a plastic bag?
Mm,
Are you insinuating that they sell terrible editions of special editions and change out the quality of their products? Are you suggesting that?
It's a good
they would
point.
never.
Like, that I'd actually forgotten about that they did the old switcheroo with Fallout 76, which kind of just adds to my previous question.
It does.
which is, what were you thinking?
You didn't think of it. You didn't think of it, Matt.
Are you? I can't believe.
Adds to my point.
I
just 'cause
can't
didn't think
believe
of it.
that you're suggesting that, and that is heartbreaking. You've just ruined the integrity of this entire podcast. I'm Bethesda.
Fine.
I'd like to formally apologize. We will fire Matt P. so we get our review copies for Starfield. I hope you know.
See ya.
I'm just
See ya,
joking.
everybody.
We
So
don't.
we
I'm
get our
just
review
joking.
copies.
We don't sell out our boys. Get out of here with your Teflon bags. Chris, this next question is aimed at you, so please feel free to read it.
The Charon Smite reveal is happening now. And Guardian Main, I'm stoked for him. Do you have any thoughts to expand to a broader question? How satisfied are you with the Smite model of God release events? In my opinion, they do it better than probably anyone. They let you pay a one-time fee for all gods that are and will be in the game. Plus, they have a battle pass and still give rewards if you don't play. Plus, some really cool skins on the level of Fortnite. Yeah, I mean, this is not wrong. The Smite model is really cool. You do just buy a pass and you get access to all current and future gods, which is pretty dope. They release, I think, like 6 gods a year or something like that. I think it's cool. Charon's a cool god. I think he's fun. This question got me thinking about the something we discussed last week on Riot Games and how they added all their stuff to Game Pass. And putting this into context, it makes more sense because both of those games make so much money off of skins and not actual selling characters, because you can earn all those characters in game by just playing. So it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I do think Smite is kind of underrated in that aspect. You know, they've had Transformers, they've had Avatar, they've had Nickelodeon crossover, they've had a ton of big crossovers. They're probably...
Didn't they have the Turtles, or I'm imagining that?
They did have Ninja Turtles as well. Yeah. So they're probably up there. I think they're definitely behind Fortnite. Don't get it twisted. Game of the year for sure. Definitely behind Fortnite. Don't get it twisted. But I do think they are somewhat slept on in that conversation. But I don't think that's a conversation that happens a lot in gaming, to be honest. As far as crossovers and stuff like that, people just sort of geek out when the crossovers happen.
Yeah. Fix fell asleep during that question.
I did. Nerds. We'll move on. We'll leave Annabis's next question for next week. Eldodo says, I see a statement that PSVR is dead. And while I don't necessarily agree, it did raise a thought, and as such, a question. Xbox dumped the Kinect early-ish into the Xbox One lifecycle, but Sony have continued on the march to a degree with VR and Project Q. My question is 2 parts, if you will indulge. Is there still a small market appeal for peripherals? If you could only if you could make any peripheral for Xbox, what would it be and why? That's a good question. The first one, is there still a market for peripherals? Yes, 100%. Because you have to include things like the accessibility controllers and things like that as peripheral. And those are Elite controller, the accessibility controller, the touch pads for PlayStation,
any controller that is not a default controller is a peripheral.
Yeah, and they sell millions. And they sell absolutely.
Is now a good time to say I'm also getting the Starfield controller as well?
Is it surprising that it doesn't come included in your £300 package?
No, there's a smartwatch in there. How cheap
fair
do you
enough.
think start watching?
Yeah, Matt. There's a smartwatch, bro. He's gonna get notifications.
Notifications.
He's gonna get notified
From
when his
my
controller gets
phone.
in.
I'm so excited to see it. So excited to see it.
Is it bad that I bought a little stand that rotates just to put it on and film things with it?
No,
Yes.
damn straight. Is it the £25 one from Amazon, the white one?
Yeah.
I know
No, the black
exactly.
one.
Oh, the
Oh,
black.
yeah, got one of them.
Oh, you fancy? Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, fancy. All right. Oh yeah, there's still a huge market for peripherals. That's not going away anytime soon. I think it probably makes up. I have the numbers in front of me, but I'm sure it makes up a large portion. I still get offered sponsorship deals from companies for peripherals all the time, down to stands for Xboxes and stands for PlayStations, controller stands. That's all peripherals. And if they're willing to pay a schmuck like me to do sponsorship stuff, then there must be a huge market for it. Just looking at Despawn's background, I'm like, there's got to be a peripheral back there somewhere.
Does the fridge count?
I don't know if the fridge counts.
No, it doesn't interact. I
That's
think
mine.
that's just.
I mean, the
got
light
mine
lights up.
over there.
That's
I can charge my
merchandise.
phone off it.
You could charge a controller in it,
merchandise.
actually. It has the USB slot, so you can charge a controller. It's not a
Maybe it's
portable
the
charger,
peripheral
but it is a charger.
I mean, I could carry around with a large battery.
I'm not gonna count it. I'm not gonna count it.
fine.
Anyone? Yeah, do we all agree? Peripherals obviously still.
I think it's a market.
Yeah, but I think his question is like very directed to like the level of VR and Project Q,
VR Connect, yeah.
Yeah.
which are bigger. But I still think like VR probably like that teeters along the line of like, yeah, it's a peripheral, but it's also in a degree its own system. Not really, you need it with the PS5, of course, but it has its own games and stuff like that. Where I don't think I would qualify a peripheral as something like that. Where with Project Q is going to let you play all the PS5 games you have. Assumedly, we don't really know what that is yet. I would count
That's
that
the
more as a
tab. That's the
peripheral.
stupid controller thing, right?
It's just a remote play device, yeah.
It's basically
Yeah.
just a remote play device.
Well, so
yeah.
this is what I was gonna say. Like they've already designed the thing that I wanted, which is the Stream Deck / the ROG. The ROG handheld, and they never sent me one. Unfortunately, I would have loved it. That's something I dreamed of having as a kid. I remember going to Haley's Nan's and being like, "Oh, I've got a lug." I bought a TV for Haley's Nan's house because we stayed there so much, and I brought my Xbox with me. Like that ROG Game Pass machine is like literally my dream. In my dreams of what I always wanted. So I kind of got my dream thing. I've heard great things about it, apart from battery life, which is a shame.
I've got a couple of friends who bought the Steam Deck and sold that to get the ROG because it is the perfect machine for, like you say, remote play.
The annoying thing is, it's just the Steam Deck. If the Steam Deck can just be easy to get Game Pass games on, I'd be so happy. You can do it, but it's just a fucking bitch to do. So, and I love my Steam Deck. I have to be honest. I don't use it as much as I should. I did use it.
When's the last time you played it?
France.
Oh, in France. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
just
about to just.
Better watch yourself,
to
Crash.
shit on you. I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta watch yourself.
No, I literally bought it for
apologize.
that point. Like, it's literally, I bought it to play games. When I go to Texas, I go on a lot more trips now than I ever have done in my entire life. So to be able to keep on gaming with all that is amazing.
Yeah.
I regret
That's
not
fair.
getting the higher hard drive one. Convinced me not.
Who convinced you?
You and Matt P. What?
Matt, why'd you say, uh-oh, you're in this too? Don't say uh-oh.
We sat in a Discord
man.
call after the
Innocent.
podcast, and I literally said, "Should I get the one with the higher?" And you're like, "You don't need
To be
it,
fair,
Fixer.
to be
You
100%
don't need
fair.
it."
100% fair. I didn't think you'd actually use the thing. Because you tend to buy stuff that you just don't use.
Like what? My Xbox freezer that's never been plugged in? How dare you?
I apologize. That's my bad.
You should
I
apologize.
didn't realize it was never been plugged in.
Yeah, you should apologize.
I also remember that conversation differently, and I think we were trying to dissuade you from purchasing it at all, let alone the lower storage version.
You don't know me. You don't know my struggles. Get out of here. You don't know my struggles. So let's answer this question. If you could make any peripheral for Xbox, what would it be and why? Despawn?
Xbox kettle. I really love a good cup of tea.
I love that. Love that for
I
you.
go really good with my fridge.
Is that
Get some milk in there. Is it peripheral?
How is that you gotta You got to
I'm
sell
gonna
me
u-
on it being a peripheral.
Because I'm going to
You
use
plug
it
into the
while I'm
Xbox.
Yeah, sure.
That's a USB port.
charging.
You can charge a controller.
You plug it into the USB and like literally right in front of you. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's peripheral.
It uses
Certain games
the
come with the
heat.
feature you can heat it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it uses the heat from the top of the Series X to heat my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I have a cup of tea now.
Quality mic.
Well, like an Elgato quality microphone that comes for Xbox. Yeah. It would just be so pricey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't think it'd be worth it for Xbox to
well,
yeah.
that.
Question: has anyone here tried the Xbox like Pro headset?
Yep. I bought it.
Okay.
You did, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's trash.
And I'm okay. Fair enough.
Trash. The microphone is so short it doesn't even reach your mouth, so it picks up everything in the entire room. Yeah, tiny, like literally tiny. Yeah, I think I don't know. I guess like an official branded keyboard and mouse would be interesting now that games like you can play keyboard and mouse now with games like Fortnite and a bunch of stuff. So like an official branded Xbox keyboard and mouse. I'm sure they may have done that already once before, but I haven't seen it. I'd like also like a, like the charging things. I wish we could get one that's literally one that's universal. So it's like iPhone controllers, like Apple Watch, literally everything. Literally, imagine you could just pop your controller on there instead of
Elite 3. If the Elite 3 controller could come with wireless charging.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Is get a wireless charging pad.
The only thing I will say, the Elite 2, the little stand it comes with is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
To be fair to it, so
yeah, it just kind of sits on the back. I don't know if you can see it on there, but yeah, it just kind of sits on that.
Yeah, okay.
Very useful.
Bunch of shit off my desk. I'm sorry if you heard that. Yeah, it was only 2 water bowls, but look, just be nice. Matt, you got one thing.
I believe in VR. I think a smartwatch, an Xbox smartwatch that gives you at least notifications from your phone, but
Not
only
your
Xbox notifications.
Yeah,
I only want to know when MC Fixer comes online.
So never, because I'm on my PC.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I believe in VR. I think PlayStation. I don't think they shit the bed, but I think they went the wrong way with PSVR 2. I think they will at some point be a Wii level industry moment with VR, where all of a sudden Yanan's interested in getting one. It'll happen, and so I don't think Xbox will ever do it, but I think there is opportunity and room for a company like Xbox with the vault that they've got and the infrastructure and ability to create hardware that they can make a really good go at a VR headset. And the compatibility with PC and all the rest of it.
Fresh?
I already gave you mine, didn't I? Mike.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got me so confused. I was like,
I'm not used to 4 people on the podcast. I'm sorry. Moving on. Original Cookie Man says, following the failed injunction attempt by the FTC and the likely closing of the Activision King merger deal, what potential impact on the industry do you think changes in promotion and advertising of COD could have in the coming year? Humongous.
Just changes all the promotions to Xbox.
Yeah, but that's huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think do not underestimate, and not just that, we shouldn't even all Activision titles being Xbox branded is gonna be absolutely humongous for the industry. For Xbox.
All the little things that tell you to support Game Pass, and they just have a picture of an Activision game there. I feel like that'll do huge. I'm sorry for cutting you off, this one.
No, it's fun. I was going to say, I think it's going to have a bit of, well, I don't know if it will have a negative effect on marketing in general, but there's going to be a lot less money spent on marketing Call of Duty now. Because you think about how much money PlayStation will have to pay Activision specifically just to get the rights to do it. Now there's no bill for that, because Xbox own it, so it'll just be built into their own marketing budget now. and they don't have to pay that extra amount out to get the rights to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, I just think every Twitch ad is gonna have it, and it's gonna be plastered to Xbox. Every YouTube ad, every cinema, like they won't even. I don't even have to put PlayStation. Like you got to remember, it will be advertised as if they have the marketing for it. They won't even need to. They don't even need to use the marketing for it at all. If you're wondering why we're laughing, Matt P has this camera that moves with him, and he just let down, and it was hilarious.
You saw all the wedding shit that I've got piled up in his room. I think I like this webcam. I think the image out of it is fucking great. But fuck me, does it piss me off when
Not
it does
today,
this AI
is it?
Can you
shit.
not turn that off?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the camera's fault.
You can. So,
No, it's not.
every time I raise my hand as if I'm waving, it reactivates that AI function. And there's no way to turn that off.
Oh,
And so it
got
will
it.
just
Okay,
occasionally
that's
pick up
weird.
my hand and decide, yep, I'm tracking again now. So the tracking's off now. We're tracking off. But it'll just reactivate itself because it'll see my hand at some point and go, what? He wants me to track you again.
Okay.
I have a question. So Activision's done stuff on Amazon with Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime, where you'll get like rewards and stuff like that. Do you think there's a possibility where Xbox removes those stuff from Twitch Prime and just throws them onto Game Pass, or they throw different stuff onto Game Pass?
I think you can see different stuff maybe, but
Yeah.
Twitch drops are humongous.
Yeah. Xbox.
No, that's fair. I wasn't talking Twitch drops, not Twitch drops. The like rewards that
Twitch
you get
Prime.
where you can go in
Prime
and redeem
rewards.
it. Yeah, Twitch
Yeah.
Prime rewards.
No, I don't think they will because there are other games that do that anyway. I know Sea of Thieves have done that. I've seen a few other Xbox games do it. I don't think they'll remove that. But yeah, I think there'll definitely be. You'll start seeing those things pop up in the Xbox rewards as well, or at least different things to it. I don't think you'll see it removed.
Have you ever claimed one of your perks from Game Pass? Really?
Yes.
All the time.
Spotify,
okay.
Discord,
Nitro.
Bro,
yeah.
I've jumped into RuneScape multiple times because Xbox Game Pass has had RuneScape membership at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
So
Yeah.
Okay.
I've gotten Smite stuff through Game Pass. Like they've done. Yeah,
I even downloaded that Smite stuff.
Did you really?
Yeah. If I see it, I'm like, I just want to impress you one day when I play it. So one day I'll play it and you'll be like, why do you have this skin?
Oh, Fix got that skin.
Why has he got that skin? Like, yeah,
Damn.
well, this is.
How's he got that skin at level 1? Why is he running it into our base?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing when I play that game, unfortunately.
No one
But to answer the question, huge ramifications, huge changes for the industry for years to come. To be honest with you, and it could be even bigger than probably a lot of the IP that they're going to pick up. The market itself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Next one comes from Top Lift 91. What deal will likely to close? What deal?
With the deal now.
With the deal.
Oh, not tightly close. Do you think Sony fanboys will boycott future releases of COD in an attempt to financially hurt the game's earnings? And we'll go on to the next one after this. No, I don't think so. Call of Duty's too big. Even if you wanted to do that and be pay, when you have it on, especially if you're a PC person, you've got a PC and it's on Game Pass, and all of your friends are playing it, you're not gonna go, oh, well, I've got the £12 for this month.
Yeah.
I'll only give them 1 month. I'm not buying it, but I'll only give them 1 month, and then that turns into 2, and then that turns into.
Also, Call of Duty's so big that you can try boycotting it. Your boycott's just not going to work.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
It's a drop in the bucket for them.
The fanboys are 0.5% of the
Yeah.
audience, and so you just can't.
It's just
The mainstream don't care.
yeah, they're just very loud. That's
Sure.
really all it is.
Sure.
Very low.
So they let you know that they're boycotting it for sure. Like
Yeah.
so many, everybody on my timeline's
And then-
boycotting it. Everybody's
Didn't-
boycotting it. 5 people are boycotting it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a lot of information going around last time when Modern Warfare 2 came out, and a lot of people saying we're all going to boycott this game?
Oh yeah.
And then you see a list of all of their profiles playing Modern Warfare,
I was going to say, you got to remember to hide your trophies. If you're out on the Twitters saying you're going to boycott something, got to remember to hide your trophies, gang.
Yep.
Come on now.
We also got, what games are you most looking forward to that are slated for release in the coming months, and what level of excitement are you on the pillow? Oh, okay, now I understand.
Thief scale.
On the pillow thief scale. So for those who don't know, I got accused of stealing pillows from Paris, and it cost me $35. Yes, I was accused. I didn't actually do it. Matt P, who keeps pulling faces every time he gets mentioned. I'm gonna come to your wedding and steal something. You better watch yourself.
I'm just saying, it looks like all that neck pain you had has cleared up. I'm just saying, is that a coincidence?
Oh, I was using a deep heat pad. Look.
That's just like a really small pillow.
Just weird that you had that to hand as
you
an
know what? I
excuse.
wasn't with Matt, but that's too coincidental.
I slept awkward last night and hurt my back.
You the questions we're gonna get asked.
She's gonna need new pillows.
Yeah, I
it
am.
sounds
It's
like
right
you need
here.
new pillows.
Yeah.
Everything's smaller in France.
Payday,
game's he most excited for?
Payday 3. Payday 3 is my top game. I'll be honest with you. I hope it works out the way I want it to, which is people want to play that game because it is on Game Pass, and people want to grind it, and people want to, like, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for a game like this to take my interest away, to do something different. So I'm really do hope that that's the case, but we'll have to see. That's probably my most anticipated game right now. Then Starfield.
What's Starfield?
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
What
What about you, Despawn?
I got 3 for you. Starfield, Payday. Also, I'm the same. I've wanted a game like that for a while now. Then they get a squad together and just go wild. And one, it's a little bit later on from now, but Alan Wake.
Oh,
Alan Wake 2. Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Give me that.
Good.
Ah,
Yes, Starfield, obviously. I probably Assassin's Creed Mirage. Assassin's Creed Mirage is the answer.
Ooh. Yep.
I almost said Avatar. I wouldn't quite put it up there. Although I am looking forward to it.
I was more looking
You're
forward to it,
the
but
Avatar game.
not anymore. I was, but not after I saw the gameplay.
You're not excited for Far Cry Pandora?
See, I kind of am for that reason.
I'd be excited for Far Cry Pandora. I'm not excited for the game I saw.
Okay. It looked like Far Cry Pandora to me, no?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't, no.
I don't know about that.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, no. What to say, I guess. Crash? What are you excited for? My
Assassin's Creed
gaming
Mirage,
buddy?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Not really Payday. I don't think I'm gonna play that game. Just doesn't look good. Not worth it. Plus the people that are playing it, like, not cool. So
Yeah, agreed.
Rule losers.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
Toxic as well,
He's not wrong. I'm going to report you to
Also,
Xbox with
Sea
my
of
voice
Stars.
activation for that.
Mm-hmm.
this is on Xbox, so that's too bad for you.
That's what you think,
Also,
Buster.
Sea of Stars, I'm very, very looking forward to. Lies of P as well.
Lies of P.
Tekken, Mortal Kombat. There's a lot of games to look forward to this year that haven't come out yet. So
Yeah. Vix,
Tekken's supposed
You-
to come out this year. It might not end up coming out this year.
you excited for E EAFC?
Yes.
No?
I am. I'm always excited. Go on, Crash.
What's EAFC?
The new football game.
Should have been FIFA, but it's not.
Okay, got
yes,
it.
I
Got
am excited for it. I am excited for it. Sorry, I had to check the date.
I'm not convinced.
I am excited for it. I don't know. Honestly, I'm looking forward to playing the new football game like I am every year, just like I am with Football Manager. It generally depends on. It's such a weird game, right? It generally depends on if I get into Ultimate Team or not. And I do it every year. We start, we open our first lot of packs, we play some games, grind out some coins, and then we instantly realize how much money you have to put into this. Which it did get a lot better last year, I will say. Like, I could have easily grinded that and got a good team last year without putting any money in. But that game's life cycle just dies off a lot quicker. What I'm interested in doing more is I'm thinking about doing a My Career mode where I role play as the character. and then so I do the gameplay on the stream of me just playing it through like a normal thing, and then treating it like if you ever watched Drive to Survive or something like that, where I'll get a green screen and I'll do like press interviews as my player, but as me, just to create content around it. The little things like that, they're a little bit different. I'm interested in doing stuff like that, and trying to get a little bit more creative with it. But the game itself, more football.
Are we gonna see you doing a
Pro
live
clubs?
action sequence on on a soccer field playing some footy?
So
in real life?
I did think about doing stuff like that. I always wanted to do it with the UFC thing, where like when I do a training thing, it would cut to me in a gym punching a punching bag, and like trying to tackle like a dummy and shit like that. So just little dumb things like that. But I really just want to get people in to play pro clubs. I just think I know you guys are not really into football, Crash Despawn especially, and you're not really into football either, Matt. But I do think there is something special about pro clubs with a bunch of people who don't even care about football, because it's just hilarious.
I got 10 hours of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true.
game.
You do have 10 hours.
Yeah, good point.
That is true. But I do think there is something remarkably funny about me screaming and shouting as I've played a pass across the pitch to Matt, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and then he shouts to me, "What button is it to shoot?" And I'm just absolutely screaming like, "You're a fucking idiot!" Like, the content is just there for me. So, yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to do
That is.
But yeah, that is yeah. Let's leave it there. We'll answer. What, you got one? There's a special one that we need to answer.
Yeah, little
Go on, then hit me.
My question this week: What is the best way to steal a pillow from a hotel?
Steal any pillars?
I gotta ask it because it's not gonna be relevant next week. So there's another one from Top Lift as well.
Go on. What did it say?
I think Fixes didn't want to answer these questions. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Oh, these are some hard-hitting questions.
Go on, read
What
it.
do you think a reasonable price for a pillow is?
£20 if it's a memory foam.
Were the ones you stole memory
So
from?
you didn't steal 3 phones.
I didn't steal any
I'm joking.
pillars.
It's a
I
joke.
didn't steal any pillars. The French people hated me. If you're French and you listen to the podcast, you owe me a review.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a
2
fair
reviews.
exchange.
Your phone,
free.
your Nan's phone.
3 reviews for the
every
3 pillars
pillow.
I took.
You did take them now.
I didn't take any pillars. Let's plug and get ourselves out of here. Despawn, what you got to plug this week, dude?
Me. Hi. I make videos on the internet. Go find them at Paul Despawn everywhere.
What type of videos do you make?
Reviews, previews, the odd let's play. I've got some fun stuff I'm recording this week, so hopefully that should be out soon. Yeah. Only up. That's all I'm saying.
Oh wow.
Crash, what you got to plug this week?
Despawn's YouTube channel.
That's
He's doing
fair.
a lot of cool stuff over there.
Okay. Matt, what you got to plug this week?
YouTube.com/Paul Despawn. You hit the bell because he's going to do a review of a smartwatch that maybe isn't that smart.
That gets notifications. It gets notifications
From your phone.
We're not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
have this
that's a good point.
conversation.
So then, yeah, if you hit the bell on Despawn's YouTube channel and you're wearing your SmartFeel smartwatch, it might. I don't know because they haven't said it's got YouTube integration, but maybe it will ding when Despawn's review of that smartwatch goes live. If you're lucky.
And also make sure you check out my YouTube channel. YouTube.com/MCFixer. Also, we'll talk about afterwards. Baldur's Gate 3 is soon coming. And I would really like.
Not if you're on PS5.
Xbox.
Not even coming
Did it
to
get delayed
Xbox.
on both?
It's not even coming to
Did it get-
Xbox.
It is, but not yet.
Okay,
Coming
cool.
to Xbox.
Oh,
It's
they
just
confirmed it is
delayed
now?
indefinitely.
Yeah, yeah. They've always said it's coming. They've just got to
Yeah,
figure
well,
out
they confirmed
multiplayer
it.
on Series S.
Split screen.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I do remember. You're right. But I want to play with you guys, so we should figure that out as well.
Let's do it.
Till next time, we will love you, leave you. See you later. Good boys.